Hello, it is Brittany, and I am back today to make a huge pair, and I do mean huge, pair of boho earrings featuring the latest Magical Mystery Bead box, the July version, called Bohemian Nights. So that box was awesome. It had some amazing beads in it, and I was super inspired to create something, and I wanted to share it with you today. So we are going to use all three colors of the seed beads that were in the kit or the box. We're going to use some Bead findings, some jump rings. We're going to use these beads from the kit. We have a purple crystal teardrop. We have like a flat round rondelle. It's like a pinky orange. A blue magnesite turquoise colored stone. The one of the chandelier findings for each earring, and a couple spacers. And if we have time, I will make a quick necklace because I have an idea, but it's not like super extravagant like these earrings are going to be. I'm also going to be using some 24 gauge wire in gold. It's Bead. I'll also be using some beading wire, which is also Bead. So I have this 19 strand in gold. And I'll be using some of the links from this awesome turquoise chain we got in the kit too, and an earring wire. So I am going to first use a couple head pins. I'll grab some and put them off to the side here. The first one, I'm just going to make a dangle out of our first bead, which is the magnesite bead. I'm not going to wire wrap this. I'm just going to do a simple loop. Go. We have our simple loop, and I'm just going to turn it to the side. Okay. So next, I am going to take one of my jump rings from my kit, and which I'm talking about this Bead findings kit, and I am going to attach that stone right to the middle of our chandelier finding. So just find the middle, which is this circle right here, and then the one right below it. Okay. Next, I am going to find a crimp bead. We're gonna need 4 for this project, and I am going to cut a pretty short length of beading wire. I think 6 inches should be, oh yeah, 6 inches is way more than you'll need. But you know me, I say it every show. I always cut more than I need. So I am going to thread that onto our wire, and I'm going to go right next to our middle bead here. And I'm just going to attach this to our chandelier. It doesn't matter if you go through the front or the back. And I'm going to flat crimp because it's such a tiny bead. You're not really going to see folded crimp versus flat crimp, and it's going to kind of almost blend in with the seed beads we're going to use. So I'm just going to tighten that up a little bit. Take my crimping pliers. You want to make sure those aren't, if you can, make sure that they aren't really crossed in there. And I am going to flat crimp. Like that, and I'm going to trim off the shorter wire as close as I can to that crimp. Okay, so now we have some wire hanging, and then I'm going to do a pattern. So my pattern is going to be 3 pink seed beads, then a bronze seed bead, a turquoise seed bead, and then a bronze seed bead and more pink. So it'll create a really cute little pattern. And I'm going to pick up my beads with my string or my beading wire because it's just a little bit easier. Pour out a couple of these guys. And we're going to go over here, pick up one of those, pick up 3 more of these. And here, oh, you know what? I missed. That's why I always double check. We'll go into the bronze, and then we'll pick up 3 of these. So here is our pattern. I'm going to let that slide all the way down, and I'm going to do it again. Okay, and then I am going to keep doing that until I have enough room to come around this middle bead. Okay, so I have enough to come up around my magnesite bead. I'm going to put on another crimp bead. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side of our magnesite bead. I'm going to come through our chandelier. Make sure it's not twisted or anything. Make sure it's going to hang a little bit. And oh, some reason, oh, I think I did that wrong. Let's try that again. There we go. And I'll just come down back through our crimp bead. If you're more comfortable doing this onto a jump ring and then onto the component, that's totally fine too. I'm going to tighten that as much as possible. And I can actually, I'm going to try and trim that a little bit closer. I didn't know that there was a little bit of a tail there. Just be careful. Don't cut your main wire if you're not confident that you won't cut your main wire. Just leave it alone, because nobody's going to be looking that close at your earring. There we go. Okay, so, and he's popping up a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay if it does that, because we're going to hang something from that, so it'll kind of naturally pull down a little bit. I'm going to try and get this a little closer. There we go, and then we're just going to flat crimp. And there we go. Trim as close as possible without cutting your other wire. So here is our first part of our earring. And like I said, it kind of goes out a little bit. If you're more comfortable using regular wire, that's totally an option too. Next, I'm going to take another head pin, grab my little pink, gold, red rondelle, and create a simple loop. Okay, and then I will grab another jump ring. And hang that from our beading wire. Okay. And here is the first part of our earring. And there we go. Let me try and twist this a little bit. There we go. So there's our first part of our earring. And then next I'm going to 24 gauge wire. Again, with this wire you only need a few inches. I'm gonna maybe cut, this is probably 10 inches, but we're probably not even gonna need that much. I'm going to take one of my spacers, slide it down to the middle, and then I am going to pull my wire up, and we're going to make a wire wrapped loop. So we gather our wires, take a bend back, and then bring our loop forward and back around. Okay. And then I keep, when I do 2 wires like that, I always keep the round nose pliers in, and then I'm just going to take my wire and wrap around a few times to where I'm satisfied. You can do it as much or as little as you'd like. Okay. I'm going to take my wire and also turn the loop to the side and straighten that a little bit. So I'm feeling like I went one too many wraps because it's a little wild on the side. So I'm just going to take one wrap off and trim in the back. There we go. And there is one of our dangles. I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing one more time. Okay, so we have our 2 pieces, and I'm going to take 2 more jump rings. And I am going to go up 1 space, so I'm going to skip that space and go to the next. And I'm just going to hang my little dangle that I just made. And do the same on the other side. Okay. So there we go. We're pretty much halfway done now. And our piece is kind of working out the kinks there, but there we go. So this is a cute earring. You could leave it just like that, but I'm going to do one more of these loops around, and I'm going to skip one more piece and then start it right here. So I'll take some more of the bead stringing wire. I'm going to cut a longer piece this time just because I want to make sure we have enough room. And I will grab a crimp bead. Loop it onto our piece. And then we'll crimp. Okay, and we'll trim. Okay, and then we're just going to do the exact same pattern. So 3 pink, 1 bronze, 1 turquoise, 1 bronze, 3 pink. And then keep going until it's a longer one that will go around our second piece. Okay, so I have all of my beads on, and I'm just going to repeat the process of putting on a crimp bead. And coming around, and then tying onto, then skip one, and then the next piece in the opening in the chandelier. Okay, and we just want to make sure that nothing gets crisscrossed. Take your time. Normally I say loosey-goosey. You don't really have to do that here because you don't want it to be to where you can't, there's just gaps everywhere. So just make sure there aren't any gaps. Hopefully it'll lay as flat as possible. But this is definitely like a 3D earring. This earring is so much fun. Okay, and we'll just keep going. Pull this a little bit more up. There we go. And we will flat crimp. And trim as closely as possible. Okay. So here's our earrings so far. So pretty. And if you want to, you can definitely use this as a pendant. If you don't wear earrings that big, I don't wear earrings at all besides post earrings, but if you want to use this, make a boho necklace with this. That would be so much fun. So then last but certainly not least, on the hangy part, we're going to grab a head pin and make a simple loop. I am going to take a jump ring and connect it down here. Over time, especially if you hang these up, the heaviness of the beads, the weight of the beads will straighten out this cord a little bit. If you're seeing that it's listing to one side or curling up a little bit, if you hang them, they'll work it out over time. And they're just so cute. Why wouldn't you want to wear these? So next I'm going to take our chain, and it kills me to cut this because it's such a gorgeous chain, but I am going to cut off the dangles and I'm going to save those, put those aside for another project, and I'm going to cut off one bar, or actually I'm going to cut off 2 bars and cut the jump ring in between. There we go. Do one more. Okay, so I've liberated 2 bars and I need 3 more jump rings and an earring finding. Move these guys out of the way. So with my first jump ring, I am going to attach the first bar to the chandelier. Second jump ring, I'll do the exact same thing on the other side. And then I'll grab the third. And I'm going to actually let these hang, and I'm going to hook my jump ring onto both bars. And then I am going to close it. If you want, you can use wire here. You can bead more seed beads up, whatever floats your boat. And then I am just going to open up my earring finding. Just like that, and hang it on my ear wire. Close that up. And we have a boho-y, fantastic statement pair of earrings. And I'm just, look how big they are. I have basketball hands. These are almost the size of my palm. So I am in love with these. Here is its twin. I will show you the other one that's finished. It's a little different because I did some experimenting. So I'll make sure that this one ends up matching. But if you want to wire wrap, you can do that as well. But aren't those super cute? Oh my gosh, I'm in love with those. That makes me want to wear earrings. So I definitely think we have time to make a quick necklace. And by quick, I absolutely mean quick. So I'm going to clean this up and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to make a really fast Y necklace. This beautiful chain that's already beaded came in the kit with some nice glass faceted beads and some spacer beads chained together. And then this was one of my favorite things out of that entire kit, was this patinaed metal bead. I got all 4 of the metal links and one of the spacer beads. I also have some 20 gauge Bead-A-Lon artistic wire in antique bronze, and I am just going to cut enough for us to make this bead and this bead into a quick pendant. So we really don't need much. You could probably use a head pin here. I'm gonna cut a little bit. I always panic that I'm not gonna cut enough wire. So I am going to put my bead on my wire, and then I am going to put on my spacer. Actually, I'm gonna wait on the spacer. And then I'm going to just decide, okay, it doesn't matter which one I want to be the back. I am going to make this into a pendant by bringing up the shorter end of my wire up the back of the bead and wrapping it around my longer wire just a couple times. Okay, just a couple times, and then I am going to trim in the back. And then I'm also going to take my pliers and kind of make a crease in the back to tighten that a little bit. So you can leave this on the front of the bead if you want, but I don't want it on the front of my bead. I'm just going to slide my spacer on. I was hoping I can get the spacer to go down over the couple wire wraps we had there, but the hole is just not big enough in this bead, which is totally fine. And then I'm going to create a wire wrapped loop. So I will bend back, reposition, pull forward, reposition, pull towards the back, and then I twist to the side and hold my wire with my pliers, my loop with my pliers. And then I am just going to come down and tightly wrap a couple times. And then I am actually going to come down a little bit more around my spacer bead. I'm going to twist this to the side. Come down around my spacer. And then I'm going to come down to that piece in the middle. Kind of get a better hold on it. And I am going to wire wrap in that void in the middle there too. Sometimes I hold it with my fingers if I'm not getting a good grip with the pliers. And you can come back up the back, but I want to get a little bit more around, like I want it to be like that around the front. There we go. If it's messy, that's great. If it's not messy, that's great too. Whatever you want yours to look like. And I actually really love how that looks. So I am gonna trim it in the back. You could come up this other side and create another loop up around your pendant. Totally up to you, but I'm liking the way this looks. I'm gonna trim that a little bit in the back and then tuck it in. There we go. And then I am just going to twist this a little bit to make it straighter. And here's our pendant. Isn't that fun? Doesn't that look almost like a little perfume bottle? That's so cute to me. I love it. So, of course, you could have put a tassel down here, used some seed beads, created a beaded tassel, whatever you like, but I told you this is going to be a very simple necklace. Next, I am going to link all 4 of these together with our jump rings. And I'm going to use, I think we'll go with the smaller size again. I don't know. I don't know if I like the medium or the smaller size, so I'm going to check to see which one I like. And these are double-sided, so it doesn't matter how you put them together. Okay. I like the medium one a little bit better because there's just a little bit more space between the links. So I will go ahead and do that between all links. And then after I get the last one connected, we'll hang our pendant. If you'd like, you can put crystals between each one of these links, but I just really liked how they're going to lead down to the pendant. And you can wire wrap your pendant right onto one of these if you wanted to. So here is our Y, the stem of our Y in our Y necklace. Okay, it's gonna go like that. And then honestly, you guys, this is kind of like cheating. We just are going to connect our chain to our pendant. So you can use a jump ring here. You can do whatever you'd like. So I'm gonna try just connecting our our chain directly to our pendant. That tight space wasn't liking those other pliers. So I'm gonna try and close it with this pair. There we go. Okay. And there we go. So that's our really simple but elegant Y necklace. And of course, I'll show you guys some really nice pictures afterwards. Just one moment. But isn't that fun? That is definitely bohemian. Definitely fun and easy, and this will go with so many different outfits. You might have to wear a very plain outfit with these earrings, but I think just about anybody can pull them off. So I'll show you some photos, but thank you so much for watching today. Thanks to Jesse James Beads for having me back, and I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of their day. Bye-bye. You hiding in your fort? Hi, Goldie. Hi, babe. Hi, baby.